In a very busy Tuesday edition of The Lead. In the next 30 minutes, we're going to make sense of what is one of the biggest stories to come out of the KPMG report. I'm Gareth Edwards. This leads at the moment. In fact, this is our breaking news. It's another blow for the auditing firm KPMG. Sasfin Banking and Financial Services Group has cut ties with the auditing firm. We're going to get reaction from an expert in a moment. Well, thousands of mine jobs, are at risk as of today. This as Impala Platinum starts restructuring talks. And claims of vote rigging in KwaZulu-Natal. An ANC councillor says there are thousands of fake membership cards. All right, at 12:30, this is our breaking news. Sasfin Holdings Limited is the latest high-profile company to cut ties with auditing firm KPMG. The financial services company says its contract with KPMG is terminated with immediate effect. It says the decision to change auditors is part of its commitment to good governance. KPMG has come under fire for retracting the findings and recommendations of a report probing the intelligence unit at SARS. The auditing firm has also been accused of helping the Gupta family plunder state resources and pay for a lavish wedding using taxpayers' money. All right, let's get some reaction now. We're joined on the line by economist Azar Jamin. Azar, it's good talking to you, and are we surprised by what has happened with this news?
We are not surprised. I think that this could well be the start of a snowballing effect whereby many leading companies can KPMG as their auditors. I think right across the economy at the moment, audit committees of various companies are meeting to decide on action, and the more that they see their counterparts discarding KPMG, the more those audit committees will be inclined to do the same. One must realize that there is a huge feeling of dismay and disgust at the manner in which the economy has been dealt a severe blow by the actions of organizations such as KPMG, which have cost the country in terms of economic growth, either directly or indirectly, and that in turn has been affecting the state of businesses, small and large, and even the security of employment for many of the employees working for various businesses in the country.
Azar, there have been many critics of this KPMG report and the fact that they retracted many parts, as they say, not in entirety, but many parts relating to what was SARS as far as that report was concerned. There were some who were coming out and saying that at least they were willing to admit that the report does not stand up to their own internal good quality controls. Is there any positive that you see coming out of this KPMG saga?
I suppose that it's an attempt to try and prevent further damage to their reputation. But I think that coming on the back of an attempt also by the government or by the IRBA to institute the concept of auditor rotation, it makes a lot of sense for businesses to take the plunge right now and use the opportunity to rotate their orders whilst the atmosphere is conducive towards this. There's also a feeling that there is still much that has to be disclosed that hasn't been disclosed in the KPMG report.
We're also hearing now, Azar, that the Institute of Directors in Southern Africa has suspended co-branding activities. This is not even a case of a company dropping them because of auditing problems and auditing concerns and reputational damage. It seems that high-end level directors are not even wanting to be associated with KPMG. How would you imagine KPMG are going to try and handle something like this, or do they just take it on the knuckles and let the cards fall where they lie?
I think that KPMG have a huge challenge to retain their business at the moment. I think there's going to be a huge amount of damage control on the part of those still with the organization, because there are probably a lot of innocent employees being caught up in this, but there is the suspicion that the atmosphere of capture and trying to maximize profits has permeated right through from the tops through much of the organization, and that is what businesses are trying to get away from.
Azar Jammine, as always, a pleasure talking to you, sir. Thank you indeed for your time and your thoughts. Economist Azar Jammine giving us a reaction to our breaking news, which you can see running at the bottom of the screen. But if you've just tuned in now, Sasfin has cut its ties with the auditing firm KPMG. As you would imagine, there's going to be a lot more reaction on this with our business desk, also Moneyline on air this evening. There's going to be a lot of reaction and unpacking what this all means, A, for Sasfin, but of course for KPMG as this saga continues to unfold. Well, Parliament's Standing Committee on Public Accounts says it's not defending the SARS Commissioner over this controversial KPMG report. ANC MP and Scopa member Niami Boy attended yesterday's briefing by SARS Commissioner Tom Moyane. Boy has apologised if he created the misconception that SOPA was taking sides on the issue. We then spoke to Scopa chairperson Themba Godi, who has defended Boy, saying he had no ill intentions. Godi says he doesn't want Boy's presence at the briefing to serve as a distraction. The EFF, though, says Scopa's attendance does create the impression that SARS is run by Parliament.
Essentially, it is to say, look, if his attendance is becoming an issue, let's take it out of the way and focus on the fundamental issues, on the substantive issues that are on the table. Otherwise, he had not gone there to provide or as a sign of support for SARS or to be involved personally or as Scopa on the merits and the demerits of SARS, rogue unit politics and KPMG. We're not there, he's not there. So if that is becoming a distraction, let's get it out of the way.
One economist believes that SARS may be correct and is saying that the KPMG report is actually their intellectual property, but would not be drawn on the legalities of that. The auditing firm has withdrawn the report, saying its recommendations and legal opinions cannot be relied upon. But SARS is insisting the report is credible.
The major thing I can say on the KPMG thing is that on the issue of the intellectual property, I happen to agree with SARS that when you have advised people and the report is with them and they've already paid you, then it is their report. You cannot then turn it around and make it your report again. I think it's a murky area. That's why I say I would have been happy to deal with this thing if ever I came specifically for that one, because there are many sides to this thing. But the bottom line, what we learn from the KPMG thing is that when companies are appointed to do work for their clients, they've got to accept then that once they've done it and they've given it to their clients, it becomes their clients' thing.